The United Kingdom has said it will correct what it described as injustice in Nigeria, especially the widespread and growing persecution of Christians. The UK said Christians and other minority groups must be its priority in the post-COVID-19 pandemic that may devastate communities already threatened with extinction. This is contained in a report by a powerful caucus in UK Parliament, the All-Party Parliament Group (APPG). APPG also advised that the UK and global community should demand a full investigation of military complicity in the killings, violence and human rights abuses in Nigeria, especially in the Middle Belt. One of the highlights of the report said the probe would provide insight to not only establishing trust between communities and security forces, but also to maintaining respect for human rights. The report suggested that the international community should encourage the federal government of Nigeria and the National Assembly, bilaterally and multilaterally, to actively engage with the Middle Belt with frequent presidential visits to the region. The APPG made the demands in the report dedicated to Leah Sharibu, released in the UK, titled Nigeria: Unfolding Genocide, Prepare for International Freedom of Religion or Belief, and signed by its chair and member of parliament, Jim Shannon, and obtained by newsmen in Abuja on Thursday. Recall that Leah Sharibu was one of the 110 female students of the government Girls Science and Technical College, Dapchi, Yobe State, who were abducted on February 19, 2018 by Boko Haram group. Regrettably, other abducted girls were released by the terrorists following negotiations. Sharibu is still being held captive because she refused to denounce her Christian faith. As parliamentarians, I believe it is our responsibility to speak out on behalf of all the survivors and victims of violence and all those who are suffering but who cannot speak out for themselves. One such survivor is Leah Shaibu, whose mother I was honored to meet on a recent London visit. This report is dedicated to her and the millions of others who suffer so unspeakably. Its purpose is to explore the drivers of conflict and to highlight the seriousness of the situation and the level of injustice that Nigerian Christians face. Among all the injustice for the UK to help correct in the near future, the widespread and growing persecution of Christians should be top of the list. These Christians and other persecuted minorities must be our priority in the aftermath of a pandemic that may devastate communities already threatened with extinction. Thus, as the UK faces the challenge of lockdown and mass quarantine for the first time in the living memory, I ask you to please spare a thought for those Christians who face not only a pandemic but also threats of violence and persecution that we can't imagine. I urge the UK and Nigerian government to do all that they can to bring an end to this violence and bring its perpetrators to justice. 2 years ago, 14-year-old Leah Sharibu was abducted by Islamist extremists from her school in Dapchi, northeast Nigeria. There are reports that she was enslaved, raped, and impregnated, giving birth to a child, and that she has been denied her freedom for refusing to convert to Islam as precondition for her release. Leah represents the worldwide struggle both for freedom of religion and belief and the unacceptable violence directed at women and girls. There are thousands of Leahs heard all over Nigeria and across the world, Shannon said. He said Her Majesty's government in the UK and the international community have an important role to play in preventing violence for the Nigeria of benefit and the entire region at large. It was, therefore, the international community should demand a full investigation of cases of military complicity in violence and human rights abuses. This is key to establishing trust between communities and security forces but also to maintaining respect for human rights. International actors at the African Union and United Nations should negotiate and agree upon actions to address root causes of environmental degradation and desertification across the region. The international community should encourage the Nigerian government bilaterally and multilaterally to implement the National Livestock Program and offer financial, technical, and capacity building support to implement the recommendations of this report. Representatives from the British government and the international community should use all avenues available to continually encourage the Nigerian government to take more decisive action to address the violence. They should also assess the above recommendations to determine where they can offer support, e.g. with training for security personnel. Wow. Well, I don't even know what these UK people, what they really stand for, whether they are saying things just the way so that, or they want to say things so that people will hear them, or what the people would love to hear, that is what they are saying. But if with all of these things they are saying, if they really mean all these things, and I don't even know who they are addressing all of these recommendations to, whether they are addressing it to the leaders that we have in this country, I doubt whether it will get to them. Even if it will get to them, just like the way they always say that it will enter their left ears or left ear and come out from the other side. It will fall on deaf ground, on deaf ears. It won't go anywhere. They won't do anything. This is not the first time we've been hearing this kind of a thing. This is not time people have been talking, countries have been saying. I don't think we even need other people from other countries to tell us what we need to do. Nigerians themselves, different groups, civil society groups, different groups, we have been crying, they'll be shouting. Are they not supposed to listen to the people that always give them votes? Of course, maybe they will listen to people who are always giving them aids, because when it comes to money now, they will not be telling you, we are going to do this, we are going to do that. In as much they said from the last statement there that if there's any way they will need any support, maybe in terms of training or personnel, whatever, that they will do that. Maybe that is the only thing they will hear. That is the only thing they will hear, because I see no reason why you, as a government, you as a leader of a country, people have to beg you, have to advise you on what to do to your people. You have to advise you on what to do to your people, what your people need. Outsiders will have to be telling, it will take the effort of the outsiders to tell the Nigerian government right from time immemorial, with most especially the present one. We know that a lot of things had happened in the past, a lot of bad things had happened in the past, and you coming now to tell us that there's going to be a change, that things will change for the better, and you expect people to be clapping for you. The next thing they will be telling you, after it has been happening before. If it has been happening before, then you don't have even come. Would have continued in that line. We'll continue with what has been going on. You cannot tell us you want to come back and come and do the right thing and change things for the better. And you are compounding to the situation on ground. What does that tell one? Does that really make sense? They will be blaming everything. Blame. The reason why they are blaming is because they are incompetent. They are so incompetent. They don't even know what to do. They don't know how to go about it. To anybody that talks about what they have done wrong or what they are not doing rightly, the next thing they will start attacking you. That's to show their level of their failure, their level of their weakness. They have nothing to offer, because you cannot tell me if it's were to. You can imagine just somebody who traveled in the Aso Villa, somebody who traveled to Lagos, and the wife of the president was so angry that the person did not go on isolation because she does not want. You can imagine the way she's protecting, if at all, if what we are hearing is true, trying to protect her home. The husband has nobody has even been affected, her children or whatever, as so-called husband not been affected. You can now imagine those who are losing their loved ones on a daily basis due to the negligence of the government. We are losing people on a daily basis, women, children, men. The worst part of it all, that we are losing our gallant soldiers. Our gallant soldiers, we are losing them because of the negligence of the government. The government, the president is now saying, telling the security, whatever, that their best is not good enough. now they break 5 years. They will tell you that Nigerians are too in a hurry. That's something. I listened to one of the policemen that was addressing protesters in the north some days back, saying that oh, something that has been destroyed for, I don't know whether he said 39 years or 40 something years, that you'd expect that thing to clear off, for them to just bring solution within 5 years, within few years. He didn't even say 5 years. You can imagine the kind of things coming out from this kind of people. You know, at times when some people just say, how can people be living with this kind of people in the same environment and you expect good things to happen? It's not going to happen. So this advice or whatever that the UK is trying to give to these people, they are not going to take it. It's just going to be business as usual. You just talk and you just go your own way. That is it. And someone said, is it not the hypocritical UK that is collecting money from Fulanis and informing them on how to deal with Christians to Nigeria? Stop your pretense and cancel that your amalgamation of 1914 that lumped humans and wild animals together. Oh my goodness. Oh, divide this country. That is the only way out. Give we Igbos Biafra. Very simple. We trust God for our protection while we still look onto US and UK to urgently look into what is going on in Nigeria. It's shameful. It's really shameful that we are going to be relying on these people. It's really, really shameful. Very, very shameful. Very embarrassing that we'll be uttering this kind of statement from our mouth. Muslims are bad homie to Nigeria and the whole world. That one don't talking over there. Where were you all along the killings were going on in Nigeria? The first step is to ban Buhari and El-Rufai from entering the UK. Oh my God. Criminals, who are you trying to deceive? After £250,000, people have been killed by your friend in Aso Rock for the past 5 years. You just woke up from the cemetery. Archbishop Webley, or what is his stupid name, in Canterbury, are the staunch supporter of this murderous president of this whatever. Well, divide it and save yourself the headache and case closed. Medicine after death. Enough is enough. Separate us from the non-entities period. Tired of the failed government and their insecurities. So guys, let us hear your opinion. Leave your comment below in the comment section and let's have your take on this matter.